So today I'm going to summarize these two books that you probably should read before writing your essays for Northwestern, but you guys are probably not going to read it, so I'm going to summarize that for you. These will probably also work for any college essays in general, but I'm going to talk about the mechanics of your sentences, so like syntax or omitting redundancies, and then I'm going to talk about the whole essay, like as a whole, overall, how you can change it, how you can improve. So first, I'm going to summarize On Writing Well by Zinzer. This was a required reading book for my junior year. So generally speaking, people use too much fancy words. People try to be professional, they try to be fancy, and they add a bunch of these words that doesn't get to the point. And instead you end up alienating the reader by putting these fancy words in. Choose the word that sends the right meaning, but don't use the more complicated version. Use like the simpler version. The simpler the words, the better, because that way the admissions officers and people who are reading your essay don't have to struggle to think about what the word means, because if you don't know, they probably don't know in most cases. Furthermore, when you're trying to develop your voice, don't put any clutter inside of your essays. To give a good example, let's say you were a flight attendant trying to teach people on a plane how to wear a mask. Let me paint a picture here. Okay, Nico, let's say you were in an airplane that's quickly losing oxygen, like half of the cabin's oxygen in 1 second, yeah? And I'm the flight attendant teaching you how to put on an oxygen mask. Here I go. In a likely possibility that the aircraft should experience such an eventuality, which if you can't see, it's a major problem because I'm not getting across how to put on an oxygen mask. And it's a big problem because the readers are slowly suffocating from your grandiose verbiage that it doesn't make any sense. You're not getting your point across effectively and simply. Are you okay, Nico? So yeah, don't use long-winded phrases. When you're trying to describe something short, use as less words as possible. And this also can help you into putting more content into your essay rather than just having it very wordy and it doesn't get as much as you can across. You need to pack in as much information as possible. Last but not least, a tip from On Writing Well is, who are you writing for? You are writing not for admissions officers, not for your parents who will abandon you if you don't get into a college, but you're writing for yourself. You're writing for yourself. It's that simple. You're writing to impress yourself. You're writing to make yourself happy. If you are happy with your work, someone else will be happy with your work because they can tell the genuineness. This is what they talk about when they say genuine. So yeah, that's the general summary of the first 5 chapters of the book. I promise I read the book. Nico, I read the book. I promise. I'm not lying. I feel like everything that I'm saying is just making me more sus. Okay, moving on to the next book, the 50 Successful Ivy Leagues book. So in this book, there are 2 distinct types of essays. There's actually 50 distinct types. There's 2 main types that I want to talk about, and one of them is story-like, and the other one is a type of moving montage type of story. Yes, every essay has different emotions like sadness, happiness, euphoria, whatever. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the general structure, overall structure of the essay. The in the moment types essays are the more story-like, like you're painting a scene, you're painting a picture, you're giving a lot of context, you're giving a lot of small beautiful details. I'll explain this later. But the moving montage type gives more information in a shorter amount of words. And I personally went with a balance for these. So just continuing to examples so you guys know what I'm talking about. Again, just a reminder, don't plagiarize, don't copy these unless you're a masochist and you like getting rejected by colleges and people and get banned from not being able to apply to colleges ever again in your entire life. Anyways, okay, I'm gonna read this. Yeah, I'm coming. The listlessness in my voice surprised me. I groan and fold the thick layers of blankets off of me. The frigid December air pounces as I watch thousands of tiny bumps germinate on my arms. On me arms. As I watch thousands of tiny bumps germinate on me arms, and the fine hairs stand alarmingly straight. After getting out of bed and pulling on my bathing suit, I eagerly throw my winter coat around my arms and shoulders. I debate crawling back in bed. No one said I had to do it. Shoes. I had almost forgotten. I opened the door and looked down at our tiny porch. The tennis shoes are indeed there, frozen solid. I forced the unyielding layers of ice around my feet, wincing. The laces crunch, and small crystals of ice fall gently to the floor as I tie a bow on each shoe. Everything is ready. It's time to go. You see that? That is story-like. That is a pure story. That is amazing. It's amazing, but in my opinion, not in the college application sense. It doesn't give enough information. Being able to make this beautiful, it takes time, it takes words for you to be able to do this. Okay, let me go into the next one, which is a more detached monologue slash montage style. The only difference between monologue and montage is, in my opinion, this is self-defined vocabulary. Montage is if you cover a variety of different things, and monologue is if you just cover one thing, but still all of this is still in a detached way. Let me just show you an example of this. Nevertheless, despite the various differences in my acute assimilation into another culture, I have never lost sight of what mattered most to me, nor forgotten the roots of my heritage and rigorous upbringing. My mother's persistence and endurance are qualities in which I've proudly assumed and carried with me in every activity of my life. From facing the ignorant racisms of elementary classmates to the malicious jealousness of middle school peers, I have never doubted or second-guessed the work ethic and moral code that she instilled in me. Now, this is an essay about ethnicity. Pretty sure you guys know. It doesn't draw you in. It doesn't hook you, you know? Nico, give them a 3-second summary of everything that's happened in the past 2 minutes, because I'm pretty sure everyone is confused. That probably took a long time. Nico, I'm very sorry. I'm so sorry, Nico. Okay, so in my essay, I used a combo of these styles because smart moves, right? I wanted to hook the readers in, and that's what the storytelling does. And compare that with the detached monologue slash montage. That gives more information, right? And so what I did was I started with the more creative storytelling, and then I moved on to the montage. Creativity for me is defined as using that storytelling method. I personally don't feel like it's creative enough to use the detached monologue slash montage style. So it's still creative, okay? I'm not bashing anyone who uses that method. I'm just saying that creativity, I feel like, is best expressed in the word usage per the storytelling arcs. That's not the word that you use to describe essays. You can see the main difference is the immersion. You know, how immersed are you into the story? How good are you at setting the stage? But that isn't what colleges want. You know, the colleges don't want you to set the stage. They're not looking for good writers, right? They're looking for good applicants. They're looking for connection between the activities that you're doing and the essay that you just wrote. That is what they're looking for. They're looking for, if you cover the name on the person who wrote the essay, can you replace it with someone else's? That is the thumb test from this book. And I'm pretty sure there's updated versions of this book. This is a very old book. I think my mom bought this when I was 4. Hashtag Asian moments. But anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. We will be ending this here. It's so long. This video is so long. I love all of you guys. Please don't subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye!